Man, and I thought Infinity Pool was an uncomfortable watch. Hi, my name is Ryan Lane, and welcome to my review channel. So for today's movie, I will be reviewing Priscilla, written and directed by Sofia Coppola, and starring Kaylee Spaney and Jacob Elordi. Anyway, so it is 1959, and Priscilla, played by Kaylee Spaney, is living on a military base with her family, and she's kind of bored. She misses all her friends back in Austin, Texas, and she's not very much in the mood to make new friends. And she's not exactly a bookworm, if you will, as she is frequently shown not participating in her schoolwork while on the military base. Anyway, feeling bored at school, she soon accepts an invitation to go to a house party and meet who else? Elvis. From there, things get very creepy very quick. This film is one giant, will give you the feeling of, oh no, just no. It's that kind of movie. Uh, Priscilla, who is 14 years old, she is a ninth grader, a freshman, just barely 1 year into the experience of being an official teenager. That's how young she is, folks. And she somehow faces no resistance, or perhaps very little resistance, from her parents and other supposed adults in her life when she begins dating Elvis, played by Jacob Elordi, who, as my understanding, is at the time when she meets him 24 years old, aka an adult. 6 years in to being an adult. Did I mention Elvis is very creepy? So the writing does a great job at conveying the abusive relationship Priscilla found herself in with Elvis. Everything from her how she dressed and makeup to her hair is controlled by Elvis, and the film does a great job of conveying the tedium and boredom Priscilla experienced because of this. Because like at one point Priscilla is effectively confined to Graceland. It's a bit of a I don't want to be too hyperbolic. It's somewhat akin to a prison because at one point she's seen, hanging outside the Graceland gates, and she's told, by one of the women there to get back in the house and not make a quote unquote public display of herself. That's like kind of the living conditions she's got. Granted, Graceland's, cool and all, but it's, again, she has quite almost literally nothing to do except hang out with a admittedly cute dog, but still, it's not a good situation. Plus, the film helps convey the tedium and boredom via minimal editing and unbroken cuts. The film even uses jump cuts to help put you in her headspace. In fact, a lot of the cinematography does a great job at putting you in Priscilla's point of view. Like many of the shots are framed through her character. Like at one point, Elvis is having a conversation with her father, and the way the conversation is framed, it's not framed with her father shot. It's framed like we're eaves like her, we're eavesdropping on the conversation. That's kind of how the film takes its approach to cinematography. I will say the film does have some issues with the writing. I feel like in attempting to convey the boredom and tedium Priscilla experienced, the film also becomes a little bit tedious at times in that, like, at one point, I don't know. I will say this. There are some sequences that I feel like either could have been cut or at least truncated in length just a bit, because it feels like the film loses a lot of plot momentum about halfway through. Again, it's not terrible pacing, but it's very noticeable. Like the very beginning is kind of high energy. Oh dear God, this is going from bad to worse as Priscilla is exposed to drugs and alcohol and even more drugs. But at the very, we're going somewhere. It's nowhere good that where we're going, but we're going somewhere. About midway through, the plot kind of stalls out a little bit. So the performances are solid, with Spaney and Elordi being great in their respective roles as Priscilla and Elvis. Spaney does a great job of portraying Priscilla and why she might be vulnerable to Elvis's quote unquote charm, because again, like I said, she was at a bit of an emotionally vulnerable point in her life. And Elordi, he does a great job of showing how when you strip away the music and the movies, Elvis was just an abusive, controlling man child of a human being who took advantage of a child when she was at her most vulnerable. And I think I should note, like, aside from like one portion at the very beginning of the movie, you never actually see Elvis, for lack of a better phrase, be Elvis. You never see him singing any songs. You never see him act in any of his movies. This film, for better or worse, mostly worse in that it shows you all the awful characteristics of him. It basically shows you what Elvis the man was not was like, not Elvis, as in Elvis, larger than life rock star type thing. I will say, Elordi, he brings equal charm and menace to the role, and he manages to show how those two traits could coexist within the same person. So, though it has a bit of a hard time maintaining plot momentum, Priscilla benefits from a solid lead turn by Kaylee Spaney and confident direction. So, with all that in mind, I will be giving Priscilla 4 out of 5 stars. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. If you like this review and would like to see more like it, be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. And for today's comment section prompt of the day, what is your favorite A24 movie and why?